If you believe, you will continue. If you continue, you will succeed. For me, I've been all my life under the occupation, and the life teach me. I've been in jail when I was 17 years old for 2 years, and I learned a lot from my friends, from my people, from other methods of nonviolent resistance like Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela, but also the life teach more. The life, when you struggle and you live the life under the occupation, when you're suffering, when you are in pain every day, it teach you how to resist. When you saw a bulldozer destroyed your olive trees, you want to go to protect your olive trees by typing yourself in this olive trees or climbing those olive trees, or so it comes from the life. So we didn't teach our people how to resist the occupation, because there is houses and there is life. We have many strategies that we working now with the other popular committees in Palestine, because in each village, in each place that we have nonviolent resistance, we have a popular committee, and from this popular committee we have a member in the steering committee in Palestine. So now we're working together, going outside of the villages, doing the nonviolent resistance, direct action activists, to grow this nonviolent resistance in all Palestine. This is the first thing that we're thinking about it. And then to build the global movement to end the occupation. So the main goal for us is to end the occupation. The main goal is to have our freedom, like everybody in the world. And this is what we're working now on the ground. And we see as a popular committee, it's a grow. We started in small villages in Ramallah area, for example, and it's grown now to many villages around West Bank in many cities now. So it's a grow, and we see it's a grow. We have hope that it will be a global movement to end the occupation. Look, there is many reasons that we use the creative ideas. Before Bil'in, it was the demonstrations and against the wall and the settlement especially. It was before in Budros village or in Salfit or many villages before Bil'in, and they used the same tactic as a demonstrations. And this kind of the demonstration, it's known by the media, it's known by everybody. So the media didn't care for this demonstration. They take the photo one demonstration, but they didn't come back in next Friday or next day to take another photo because they have it. So in Bil'in we had also our weekly demonstrations, but we were thinking to do something creative ideas to push the media to come to see and to cover it, to send the message more fast to the people. So I remember when we tied ourselves in the olive trees, we had about 20 televisions online. There was show, and also Israeli televisions. In that time, there was show this action. So when we did that action, we start also to think for other actions. After that, we had meetings every week as a popular committee, and everyone comes with a new idea. So we follow the news, we follow the political things, we follow what's happened on the ground, and we comes in new ideas. And also the creative ideas, it's less the violence of the Israeli soldiers. That's when you put yourself in cage, they cannot shoot you. Maybe they arrested you, but they cannot shoot you or use against you like a violent to lost. You give him lost more than you in this creative idea. And also it takes more time for the army and the companies to build the wall. Because you stop in that day, when you do the creative idea, you stop the bulldozers for all the day. They cannot work all day because they want to clear the people from the area, to arrest them, to cut the fence or the barrels or cylinders. So it takes time to the soldiers to clear the people. So it was really many different goals to do that. And it's become, after that, when we succeed by these creative ideas, we find also the people was coming to us by new ideas. So it was succeed in the media, in the ground, and people feel that. And it gives us more hope to continue also. We fight the army, the soldiers, the strategy of the soldiers, backed by our strategies. We fight them by there is law. We fight them by many ways that was using against us. Also, they have their tactics and their strategy to attack us and to break us. But we was respond. For example, at night raids, they want to break our children. They want to scare them. They want to break us by putting more pressure on our children. But what we did the same strategy of them. We went a demonstration at night time. We did our demonstration at night time. So in this point, we can keep the soldiers waking 24 hours. In the day, they are on the wall. In the night, they are stopping demonstrations. So we keep them, and it was succeed. I remember in 2009, 2010, it was the night raids every night. After our demonstration, the response of us, it's become less because the soldiers become tired to do that every night and demonstrations and all these kinds. For me, I believe in nonviolent way that's effective more than any ways. And I live this life of nonviolent, and I saw that it's been affected the occupation, I mean, more than other ways. So in Bil'in, for example, it's a small village, and we succeed. We have many succeeds, as in the ground, in the political, like in the media. We push many political people to come to Bil'in. Members in the parliament in Europe, from Europe, members in the parliament in England. Many of famous people that have a Nobel Peace Prize came to visit us in Bil'in. A lot of groups. It's become a famous village that's because using the nonviolent resistance. And this gives us more support from other people in the world. And we're looking to, we're looking that's what's happened in South Africa also. It's a similar that's of our struggle. That the people was fighting for against apartheid in South Africa. But they didn't win until they have all the world standing with them by boycott the apartheid. And this is what we're looking for now in Palestine. We cannot get more people to support us from outside just by the nonviolent way. Yes, this time we have a lot of support from the governments to the occupation, in this time to the occupation. And most of the support comes from United States also. And we know also that the United States was the last country that's boycotted the apartheid in South Africa. So they have a lot of support, but also we're working on the ground, and it's grow. Many people start to understand the conflict in Palestine. They didn't hear the Israelis propaganda more because the Israelis propaganda want to make it like a religious conflict, but it's not a religious. We have Palestinians living under the occupation. We are not against the Jewish in the world. This is an important thing for the people to understand. And this is what we're doing now to get this message out. It's really a lot of suffer and a lot of pain that we live now, but also what's give us more strength to continue, that we have hope. We have always hope to end the occupation. We have hope to change the situation to better situation. That's I am looking for a future of my children and all the children. So I have to resist. And this gives me more hope to continue to have better future for my children. I don't want my children to live my life as under the occupation, suffering, jails, injured, all these kinds of violence. I want them to live in better situation, in better future, to live like everybody, like all the children in the world. To think of their children, how to play, how to go to school, how to study, all these kinds of things, not just to be under the occupation and seeing the violence. And this gives me hope to change for better situation. You know, when I traveling outside, I met a lot of Palestinians who's in Europe or in United States, living there. They try to support by sending the message sometimes to their friends here, to their people, but also the laws that's here in the United States against the Palestinians or against the struggle, it's also affected them. That's scared them to do something as on the ground, like direct action or demonstrations or to support. And also the laws here, that's they cannot support the Palestinians. And the laws scared the people of the Palestinians who are living here or in Europe. So they try to support, but also they cannot support from all the ways. They can support to spread the message, to talk, to do something like this. We need the Palestinian in all of the world to stand with the Palestinian inside, because we have to be together, united, in the same struggle. They can do a lot. For example, in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Syria, everywhere the Palestinians is affected by the regime. So they have to refuse. They have to stand up to say no. Why? I want my freedom like everybody. I want my right to return to my home. This is what they have to say. And no law will stop them. They have their rights and they have to resist. Sometimes you have to lose something, but it's the freedom is not coming in a plate of gold. That's what we say. You have to lose, you have to fight, you have to, for your rights. I wish to build a global movement to end occupation. This is the first thing. And I wish that all the world, and it's grow really, to put pressure on the Israeli government to follow the international law. Because we know that the Israeli government didn't care for any international laws, for any agreement with the Palestinians. So I hope that the international community put more pressure to end the occupation. International in our struggle is very important. And this is, we find it later when we did the demonstration and when we find them with us in the demonstration. We didn't recognize that if we have Israelis activists or international will be help. But later we find that it's very important to have the international in the non-violent resistance. First, they list the violence of the Israeli soldiers, because the Israeli army is scared or afraid or be less violent when he see international or cameras or Israelis activists. They're scared to shoot some of them or to do, but it's good. And also, the international is our messengers outside. That we invite the international. We want the international to come to see by their own eyes now what's happened in Palestine. We didn't lie to the people. We want them to come and to see. And they become our messengers outside. And this is important because the media outside also, it's very close to the Zionist media, or it's controlled by the Zionist media, the Western media. They didn't show what's happened in Palestine. They didn't show the life of the Palestinian. They didn't show the truth. So by these people, we can send this message to their communities, to their people. And also, when we have the international in at night time, night raids, for example, the soldiers, the army, will be afraid to broken things in the houses, to damage or to do like these things. Also, the cameras of the international in the demonstration helps that the lying of the soldiers in the court. For example, when they was arrested somebody, the soldiers was going to the court and they say in the court that we saw him throwing stones. But when we bring the video, the cameras of the international, we succeed to release these people because it shows that they didn't throw stones. So it really helps in many ways. I think there's a lot of things that we learn from our struggle in Bil'in. First, you have to continue. The first thing that's in Bil'in, the first thing that gives us a succeed, that we continue our struggle day by day, week by week. And despite all this violence that they use against us to break us, we continue. Because the freedom is not coming like an easy way. You have to lose for freedom. And you have to believe about what you are doing. You have to believe in this way. If you believe, you will continue. If you continue, you will succeed. This is the strategy that I use always with my people. If you believe in this way, you have to continue this way. You have to work in this way. And if you work in this way and continue, you will succeed. The next is we continue our struggle. We continue our nonviolent resistance and we try to make it grow in all West Bank. We're looking for third intifada, the same of the first intifada. Third intifada, it's lead the people to be united first in Palestine because we have many problems also inside of the Palestinians community, between the parties, between Gaza and West Bank, between the political people. So many problems that we have to prepare before. And to end these problems, we have to lead the third intifada. So everybody can be against the occupation, not against each other. And nothing will unite us, just the third intifada. And for me, I hope it will be third global intifada, because now we have many activists outside that's looking to support the Palestinians. We have the BDS movement, we have the Students for Justice in Palestine, we have a lot of people outside of Palestine that try to support by many ways. And we saw the demonstration in the time of the war in Gaza, how much it was biggest demonstrations around the world, tried to support Gaza and to stop the massacre in Gaza. So there is a lot of international people who want to support, and we hope these people also organize themselves and put pressure in their government to stop support the occupation. And the BDS movement is part of the nonviolent resistance, part of the movement that's grown now everywhere, especially in Europe. In the United States also, I see in last 5 years, there is many people talking about and boycotting the Israelis stuff, for example. In last year, we have 5 universities in the United States that's divest, and it was good that we did that. So the BDS movement is a strong movement that also gives the freedom and end the apartheid in South Africa by BDS movement, and was a great movement in all of the world. So now it's a grow, and we're looking to be more effective, more bigger, and we're working for that. For me, the important thing that's to know more activist people from different countries, because when you're looking for freedom, you also have many people looking for that. So if you connect all these activism together, you can do something.